Welcome, my friends, to another refreshing new interview from Cuentame USA with Moncho Camano. Today we are speaking with Erik, let me say this, Hartenstein. I don't know, maybe I'm
That's
fucking
right.
up. Bassist and backing vocals for the metal band, uh, deathcore, metalcore, thrash metal. I don't know anymore. I'm not sure.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, what the hell? Apex Falling. They're from Houston, Texas. And I'm gonna just thank Erik for being here today. How you doing, Erik?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
Let me tell you guys, I found out about this band not that long ago, and I listened to their tracks, their EPs, and the singles, and what's coming up, and all that. And it caught my attention. I think it's a good time to speak with one of them, one of the members, and see what Apex Falling is all about. So tell me, the band itself, talking about the band, you're a drummer, Daniel, and vocalist, Jeremy. Are
Mhm.
those the two members who founded the band?
Yeah, in about 2019 or so, they started talking a little bit and just playing casually and uh, playing with one guitarist that ended up being one of the first members or so. Um, or actually, they broke off, went to do something else, and Jeremy was like, "Hey, man, you want to just keep going? I'll write some guitar riffs, and we'll just do something." And
Hmm.
I said, "Okay," and started off with that. Got in. They went through a couple members. One in particular being one of those first guitarists. He came back, and he's a great guy, but it just didn't work out.
Hmm.
Eventually, found another guitarist for rhythm and a bassist. They were moving along fine. Put out an EP called Neverthelesser, and then building up to the second EP, swapped out some people around again and recorded Greater Than Misery and
Hmm.
another single. And then about that time, it was about February of 23, I believe. They finally brought me on board,
Hmm.
and we went through a few singles and then now leading up to a full album. And at that time, we before they were a five piece, went down to a four piece.
Right.
So we've been going strong, and you wouldn't have known that we had any trouble and kept
Right.
losing people. So it's working out so far.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Do you know all the guys previously from high school or some of the members? Were you like in touch with each other before you joined the band?
Well, Daniel and myself, we grew up together.
Hmm.
We actually started our own high school band together. So like we were playing
Okay.
when we were teenagers, and at
Hmm.
the time, Jeremy was like he's like 1 or 2 years older, but he's from just the next town over.
Okay.
Um, and he was in his band, and we would run into each other playing similar venues, and so we knew of each other, just
Hmm.
never collaborated on anything. And then after a while, we turned into adults, and I went my way. Woody kept playing music for a couple other bands, and eventually we found our way back to each other. But yeah, we definitely grew up together and were friends all through that whole stint. And
Hmm.
the only one is Reese that we didn't know about because he's actually quite a bit younger.
Right, I
He's
saw. Yeah.
he's
I
the
could tell.
baby.
I could tell by the photos. Yeah.
Yeah. Not to really date ourselves, but
Right.
Jeremy, myself, and Daniel were in our mid 30s, and here comes
Right.
Reese in his early 20s. So it does bring a lot of fresh new life into the band when you've got somebody that energetic.
That's good.
But they actually put out an ad on Craigslist. That's how they found him.
Oh man. Yeah.
So it's still a thing that can
Yeah, it still
meet you up with
works.
somebody.
Hmm. So that band that you play in high school, what's it called? Sepsis, I read somewhere.
Yeah,
Sepsis.
it
What kind
was.
of music did you play at that time? What type?
Um, so I guess the three big bands at the time that we were heavily influenced by was Lamb of God,
Hmm.
Mudvayne, and Mushroomhead.
Hmm.
So, oh, and Slipknot.
Ah, sleeping. Okay.
So a lot of new metal influence, and at the time, being teenagers, it's easy to play some power chords. You can't really rip it too
Right,
technical when you're 16 years old, or at least not,
right.
generally. So it was, the riffs themselves were a lot simpler, but a lot of heavy breakdowns just the same. And we actually went through a period originally
Hmm.
where we did a bunch of face paint on
Oh,
stage.
okay. All right.
And so we had a lot of fun with that. And it was actually a really good stage presence. It was really entertaining.
Hmm.
But eventually that faded away. The music changed styles, and then creative differences, whatever, and people broke off, and eventually it dissolved.
Hmm. Was the bass your first instrument of choice? Is that what you played when you were a kid? Is that the or you play other
Um,
instruments?
well, I started playing. I grew up, and Daniel as well. We grew up in percussion, so we've actually been classically trained growing up, going through school,
Oh,
learning
okay.
how to read sheet music, scales, time signatures, and
Hmm.
so which really helped me transition to a bass guitar, being the rhythm section of a band.
Hmm.
And it doesn't take much for me to lock into what he's doing, at least time and tempo wise. Um, but I got a six-string guitar when I was about 12 years old,
Hmm.
and so started learning on that. When it came to the point where we were forming our band Sepsis, um, I was playing guitar, and in comes our buddy Charlie, and he started progressing on guitar a lot faster than I would. So I was like, all right, well, we don't really know anybody else. I'll just use the bass. No big deal, because I was playing more rhythm style guitar anyway.
Okay.
And just to round out the sound, that was just the choice that I made. But it
Hmm.
doesn't
S-
bother me none. I've enjoyed it ever since.
So when you took your the band broke up. What you separated from music, or you kept join other bands, or you just took yourself a long break and you I, I was thinking, was it in your radar to ever go back to join another band or get in touch with friends and try to do something, a new project or something? What was in your mind when you took after you broke up?
Uh, After we broke up, I basically just started being an adult out in the world, just going to work and
Mm,
doing whatever. And I would tinker around with stuff on my
mm,
own. Didn't really collaborate with anybody. I wouldn't have turned it down if it came my way, but it didn't. So I just
right.
kept doing my own thing. And yeah, it was a pretty long break from
Yeah.
actually playing on stage. And I was considered it one of the greatest moments, of my life at that point growing up,
Mm,
and being on stage and entertaining people, because I like the attention.
right. I
And
understand. Of course.
but so yeah, I took I want to say it was somewhere about 16, maybe
Yeah.
18 years.
Right.
I didn't play, but
Did you keep your
the
gear? Did you
oh yeah,
and you
that
practice or you just put it aside and forgot for a while?
not I didn't really practice too much, but every now and again I would bust it out and just start
Hmm.
going through stuff. I still remember some of the old Sepsis songs, so
But you guys
it's
don't,
nice.
no, you guys don't play that. No, you don't play
No,
no, nothing,
no,
not even close to that.
no, we don't play that, or anything from Jeremy's old band either. So it's just everything Apex in
Everything
in what
Apex
we play
Pro.
on stage is Apex. But yeah, I went through a long period of not playing,
Hmm.
and then eventually I get messages from Jeremy saying, it's
Hmm.
like, hey, you still playing? I'm like, well, yeah. Is there something going on? Because I knew
Yeah.
they had a full five piece. And I'm
Right.
like,
Hmm.
why are you asking
What
me what I'm
what
doing
do
and
you
if
want me
I
to
can
do?
still
What do you want me
play?
to do?
Yeah. So I just kind of laid low,
Yeah.
and eventually, about 6 months after that, then I get the official offer. It's like, hey man, come on, bring your stuff. I was like, all right. So I dug out all my old gear and went over there, and they were kind of iffy about it because I hadn't played in so long.
Of
But
course. Maybe you're a
once I
little
got
rusty, rusty with your fingers.
exactly, and so that's what they were kind of worried about, because so far in comparison between well, we played in Sepsis, and what Apex Fallen was doing was a lot faster tempoed and a little
Right.
bit more technical. And but once I got in there and realized that over all these years, Daniel really didn't change how
Hmm.
he is as a drummer. And then once I heard that, I was like, oh no, we're good. I keyed in
How,
on it and it lined up.
how,
So
how, yeah.
all I had to do was learn the riffs. We're good.
So has his personality changed, or he's still the same as you knew him?
Oh no, we're still goofy idiots. And you would
Do
you
you
would
guys hang
never.
out a lot? Do you guys hang out together, or just when you
Oh
practice and stuff? Are
no, we
you?
do hang out. No, we
Yeah.
do spend some time together. And I mean, he doesn't. He actually lives quite a bit farther away now. I'm
Okay.
still in the hometown, just not at home. I'm in my home. Uh,
Right.
so,
Are you talking
but
about
he
Houston or the suburbs, or where are you located, Eric?
Pasadena. It's
That's not that's close, no? Not far from the Houston metropolitan area, is it?
no, it's pretty close. It's more southeast of the actual Houston proper.
Hmm.
Um, and he lives a few minutes west in Pearland. So
Okay.
we hang out when we can,
Hmm.
and but I mean, for the most part, we spend time at practice. That's when we get to see each other the most.
Hmm.
But on the weekends, sometimes if we're not doing nothing, we've got no shows going on or anything
Right.
that really needs to take our attention music wise, yeah, we'll go hang out.
Hmm.
But you'd never think that we were ever like not together or spending time with each other.
Right.
Like it's still the same us.
So
we're
so
we're just older and we have more money now.
older. You have a little more experience, whatever it is. What
Right.
it is. I guess the apex falling right now is on steady ground, we could say, right? Everybody's rowing in the same direction, I guess.
Yes, and that makes it a lot easier than what we've dealt with in the past with
Hmm.
people with creative differences, and there's a lot of tension that starts to build under the surface. But with
Hmm.
this, everything's been kind of going in the same direction, and it makes it a whole lot easier.
Hmm. How do you approach the rhythm and the timing when playing bass guitar with the style of Apex Falling? Is it something natural for you? Like,
Well, as I said, we grew up both going through percussion in school, so
hmm,
I I think like a drummer.
okay.
So, like for instance, with this upcoming album,
Hmm,
sitting down and recording all the guitar riffs with Reese and doing my part at the same time. He would play his idea, we would get it down, and just knowing that like it sounds good, but you were just a hair off. You were like a half a beat off on this one, or whatever. Let's do it again. Like I can hear those subtle nuances or
hmm,
subtle differences that he's not classically trained, that he won't key in on, but I can hear it. And
okay.
so, in order to get a better recording, I can hear it just as well as any drummer.
Hmm.
And
So,
so it's really easy for me.
hmm. So how much creative liberty we could say is given to the band members? Everybody has,
Um, Quite a bit.
yeah.
Yeah, as far as guitar riffs go, um, the singles that I recorded with them and when I first joined and this new album, these have basically all been Reese's creation
Hmm.
and totally just letting him be released to make whatever you want. And as far as Daniel goes, I mean, nobody really tells a drummer what to drum. It's
Right.
just, he
Yeah.
hears it, has a good idea. If
So,
little fills or something, I'm like, hey, maybe try this or try that in halftime or
right.
whatever. But beyond that, no,
Yeah.
it's
So,
everything is on his own.
yeah. So the band is more a democracy, not a dictatorship, we can say.
Yes, 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 very
which
much
is
so.
which is good. It's really good. I was going to ask you one of the usual questions. What are your some of your favorite bass guitarists, and what do you admire about them? The ones you like the most?
Ooh,
Some
I
of them.
would say just for the simplicity of things,
Mm.
Um, I like Justin Chancellor from Tool.
Okay.
His bass riffs aren't the most complicated,
Right.
but he finds ways to make it sound so huge, and it just fills all the space. And on top of that, using effects here and there, which pitch shifting and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. And then when it comes to like very crazy all over the place, probably Les Claypool from Primus.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
it's hard for me to wrap my mind around what he's doing sometimes. And looking like he's having a good time and
Right.
doing vocals all together. It's just he really is a master at his craft. Justin is too, just in a different realm.
Right. 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 uh, I was gonna say, what I don't know. I mentioned the band as as a metal band, but
Mhm.
you guys, I don't know what you consider yourselves into the metal genre to be. I don't know. It could be anything right now. I don't know anymore.
Um,
So
it it used to be easier to
yeah,
kind of put certain bands and certain groups and kind
yeah,
of pick a certain style or genre and say,
mm,
oh, well, this band is this and this band is this. And nowadays, you get a lot more of a blending where you might have a four-song EP and
right,
each song sounds a good enough, slightly different
right,
than each other. And so it's not honing in on a particular style, but you could hear with certain parts or a whole song in comparison to others of where the bands are getting their influences from.
mm,
So if you were to listen to us, there some of the older stuff and even a few riffs in the new album have a lot of southern metal influence to it. So like a lot of Pantera style,
okay,
and then you have others that sound a little bit more closer to now with being metalcore sounding,
right,
like Kill Switch Engage, Trivium,
mm,
that type of stuff. And
mm,
then we're trying to push ourselves even more with going more of a genty, even more modern tone and more focused on rhythm playing and not necessarily technicality like Meshuggah and Architects and stuff like that.
sounds good.
So, but you
Well,
can hear all of it coming together. So that's why it's kind of hard to really
right.
tell you what we are.
Well, we're waiting for the album. It's coming out, I believe, released on October 15th, right? Eric,
Yes,
Some of It All. It's called the album. And how many songs on that album, Eric? How many
it
tracks?
is. It is 8 songs,
8 tracks. Okay.
just over the mark of being a full album.
Okay. It's cool. Any more or less, how long each song, more or less? Between 3 and 4 minutes? Or there you have long pieces also?
Um, I would say somewhere in the 4-ish minute mark
Mm,
is the average. We have a few songs that are a little bit less than that, and
mm,
a good bit of the album's a little bit longer, closer to the 5 minute mark, but somewhere in that 4 minute range. It just depends. We like to play around with a lot of intros or add in extra
right.
little sections to just have fun with it. Really, we had a
Mm,
lot of fun experimenting with different things and different elements.
mm,
In particular, with the single "Some of It All" that is already
right.
out.
Right.
Um, oh no, I'm sorry, it's Hollow.
Hollow
There's
is your
this
latest video I
that is
saw.
that is the latest.
Yeah.
That one had a little bit where we're like, let's make like just some weird Static X sounding part, and
Mm,
so it just kind of grooves for a little bit, then it jumps back into the song.
mm,
So just we're throwing in whatever, just we're having fun. That's all we're really
yeah.
doing.
Well, like I said, I listened to I saw the videos also, the Hollow and Some of It All. I think I also listened to it and saw Internal Fire, I think previously from like 2 or 3 years ago, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think also Reborn is, I'm talking about YouTube videos that I saw.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're all on in YouTube. Have you ever thought of doing instrumentals or you plan of doing something in the future? Like,
we might.
hmm,
The topic has come up.
right,
Um, I guess yeah, moving forward, that's definitely on the table.
Mm.
We just elected not to do it
Right.
this time around. But if we put out another EP, there very may well be an instrumental on there.
So who wrote the lyrics for this album? Always a collaboration between all of you.
Um, it was a it was a collaboration. There are a good amount of bits in there that were Jeremy.
Mm.
There was a decent amount in there that was me, and also some that was Daniel. Um, I guess the song, some of it all, the majority of that came from me.
Oh,
With
okay.
Hollow,
Hmm.
I want to say Hollow mostly came from Jeremy. So it is a back and forth. So I was there for the entire recording process. It started with Reese and I recording tracks to MIDI drums. Then Woody went and did his drums,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm helping him record when I could. Then once that was all done, came time for Jeremy to lay down some vocals, and I decided to come over and sit in while they were doing that as well.
Hmm.
There is some moments where whoever's writing lyrics or Jeremy in this case, I get writer's block or just be in that moment to be like, I don't know what sounds good with this. But if you have some other people in there that can kind of key in and be like, all right, we'll try this. And so you have other people to bounce ideas off of, and
Hmm.
you're not just sitting in there stuck
Yeah.
because you're the only one trying to think of anything.
Right.
Um,
Are
so
you
that, yeah,
looking for are you looking for like a cohesive story? Is it necessary to write a song, or sometimes it doesn't really matter? I don't know. It's like, does it have to make sense, everything you write?
um, I not necessarily.
Okay.
If you're trying to do a particular concept, then yeah, that might come off as more storyline based. Or if it's not so much a particular concept, but just a certain topic, you can
Right.
kind of bounce around or whatever. It doesn't have to be a linear
Right.
style of writing.
Hmm.
But if you have, you know, a bunch of a handful of ideas about that topic, you can just kind of throw it in wherever, and so
Yeah.
it just kind of gets the whole feeling and the whole point across
Right.
without sounding like you're trying to tell this tale
Storyteller.
of
Yeah.
some person or whatever going through
Right.
this trial or whatever it is.
Right. I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how often do you guys practice? A couple times a week, or how do you have
We
a place where to hang out and play?
Yeah, we practice usually 2 times a week if we
Mm.
can. Um, and right now we are all set up over at Daniel's house, the drummer.
Okay.
So he keeps everything over there, and that's also where we do our recording as well.
Okay.
Um, but over at his house, it's
That's where the album was recorded?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's mostly where everything, but I think Greater Than Misery was recorded. Nevertheless, was recorded there, and I want to say the three singles
Mm.
before that, I believe.
Mm.
But I want to say Greater Than Misery was actually recorded in a studio elsewhere.
Okay.
But the new album and everything on it was done at his house,
Mm.
and then
Okay.
we sent it off to get
Okay.
mastered.
Of course. Hmm. Didn't you just play I don't know where. What's it called? Rock Around Downtown Fest? Weren't you just there
Yeah, we
a couple days ago, or maybe a week? I don't remember when I
I believe it was a week ago today.
how
So
it
that was
went.
in
How did it go?
It was a great time.
Yeah.
So it's this big 2-day festival in Lafayette, Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
and so the first night was a handful of bands at this one location called Feed and Seed that packed out with about 160-ish people.
All right.
And then the second day, that's the one that we played, was at Park International, and that can hold comfortably at least 1,000 people.
Hmm.
Um, I
That's cool.
believe the full attendance on the day we played was somewhere right around or north of 300,
Hmm.
which I mean that was a good turnout.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it
But
is.
it
Yeah.
was it was about 14 or 15 bands split between the 2 days.
Hmm.
But no, it was a lot of fun. Aside from the fact that we played right when the sun was like right in front of us, and
Hmm.
it was a lot hotter than we were anticipating. So that was a real struggle to try and
Oh,
stay conscious
Right.
look like you're having a good time and
Were
keep
you wearing
going.
sunglasses? No, I guess not.
No, I move around a little too much for sunglasses, but I was wearing an all white cotton shirt, and I
All right.
still felt like
You're still fine.
Daniel wasn't even wearing a shirt, and
Right.
he was still struggling. So as soon as we were done, we got everything off the stage out of the way, and then about all of us wanted to lay over and die because it was so hot. So that was probably the only downside, but worth it. I would absolutely do it again. It was a great time.
Yeah. Because you guys branched, I guess, branched out from the Houston area. You play different cities around in Texas, I guess, Austin and Dallas. You play,
Yeah.
and you already played Louisiana before, I believe, right?
Yes, we've
Hmm.
played it, I believe, three times prior. So Radfest was our fourth time being in Louisiana.
Hmm.
But we do try to travel as much as we can. There's only so many times you can play your hometown
Of course.
before people stop showing up. So you gotta,
Right.
if you're bored, well, get in the
Yeah.
van and go
And go somewhere
find a
else.
new market.
Yeah. I guess for you, it's playing live is what you really enjoy. It's like your happy place, right?
It really is. So I mean, we have day jobs. We have adult lives that
Right.
everybody's got to deal with, but when we get on stage and when we start playing, that's when, at least in my mind, I finally feel like, okay, clock in, work started. Let's go to work
Hmm.
and let's do whatever we got to do. But at the same time, I'm also just disconnected. So it's like a really good escape mentally
Of course.
from everything going on. Like I literally have no thoughts about anything in my daily life in
It's
that moment.
like
I'm just in the zone,
yeah,
focused
yeah.
on what we got to
You're
do.
it's like releasing the energy from your everyday routine, I guess.
Yes, yes, very
Yeah,
much so. It's very cathartic
yeah.
in a lot of ways.
How long does it take for you guys to set up on stage? Half an hour?
Uh
Less?
oh no. We try to get everything on stage within about 5 minutes or so, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
gives
You're fast.
sound guy enough time to
Hmm.
check levels and do stuff like that. No, we try to have everything ready, and it's just boom, move, move, move.
Hmm.
We actually try to take a little bit of pride in that, so that if the show's running a little bit late, or if it
Hmm.
might go over certain times or whatever, well, it wasn't us, it wasn't our
Yeah.
fault. We got off in time, we got on in time, so don't look our way. We did exactly what we were supposed to do.
That's good. That's good for you guys to do that. Is I was gonna ask you, but I don't believe there is, but is there a dress code of any kind for the band, for the band members? There is something you should not wear?
I
You
mean,
already know that you cannot wear this. I cannot wear this shirt or these pants or whatever. Doesn't match with what we do.
i I guess so. I mean, to each their own. If it grabs people's attention, then
Hmm.
you really can't hate on it.
Hmm.
There were a lot more funnier, questionable things that Daniel used to wear back in the sepsis days.
Oh, really?
Won't go into too much detail what those were, but
Right.
yeah, they were not something you would normally see a metal band wearing.
Right.
And but it was fine. It grabs your attention just the same.
Of course.
For the most part, Apex Fallen hasn't really had a dress code, um, other than just some jeans and band shirt, or just any kind of shirt that I guess black. Everything kind of always revolves around black. It goes with everything.
But
Um,
yeah, you can play any
but
type of music with
yeah,
with black. Yeah.
and so it's just kind of an all around go to, or it's a safe bet, I should say. But with this new album, the concept of it kind of plays on duality. And
Hmm.
so if you look at the cover art, you'll see the Black Reaper and the White Reaper. And so it's kind of a yin and yang kind of feel.
All right.
So at least for the time of when the first single, Some of It All, came out to now, and
Hmm.
probably pushing into the future while we're still promoting this album,
Right.
and actually playing a lot more of the set, is a lot of black and white. So I got black shoes on, a black shorts, and a white shirt for Radfest, and we're just kind
Hmm.
of all playing around the black and white idea. If you look at some of our recent promo photos, it plays into that.
Cool. No Hawaiian t-shirts coming. Nothing like that.
No, not right now. No,
Not right now.
at
Maybe
least not at the moment.
maybe in a later album when they're bored and they got
Right.
nothing else going on.
A
They
little
say,
bit more relaxed when we decide to switch over to yacht rock or
yeah,
something like that.
play Beach Boys cover songs or something.
Right.
So
Exactly.
what's your vision for the band? How do you see the band in the progressing in the future, Eric?
I see us progressing in terms of riffage, trying to find new newer styles that we haven't really experimented with before,
Hmm.
and trying to see what can fit within sort of within the realm that we've been in, but not the same, because there's only so many types of riffs that you can come up with that is like, oh well, that sounds like four other songs that we've done before, like
Right.
maybe don't do that. So um I know each from the very first EP up to now, we've gotten progressively heavier with the tunings.
Hmm.
So everything right now that we're playing is in drop G with 7 strings, going
Right.
from drop C with 6 strings. I see us writing about other topics that aren't so much about um, just inner anguish or pain and betrayal of loved ones or people that you considered close, and
Hmm.
less depressing, but more like outward examining of things around us and
Okay.
things that are going on in the world. So a little bit more of that,
That's cool.
definitely.
So if we compare it with your first 2020, the first EP, you were in on that the band, right? And nevertheless, you weren't part of the band. Was it on the
No,
first?
I didn't come in until just before Catastrophic. So
Okay.
they had Neverthelesser, Greater Than Misery, and Battleborn. Those
Okay.
3 things were out, and then I come in.
And that's when everything got better.
Yes,
After he came in.
I think so.
After he came in
I think
because
so.
the song I listened. No, I know God not says they're not going to making Frosty the Snowman again. That's for sure.
No, that was something they tried a
That's so
while
funny. That's
back.
funny. I saw the videos like,
Yeah. Well, it turns out that there is a copyright on that song. So
okay.
every time that it gets played,
Oh,
somebody else is getting paid.
they're
And
not
I
playing
believe
that live anymore. No, they're not doing
no,
that.
well, I think we can play it live, but streaming wise, no, there's definitely a copyright that we do not own on that one. So
Okay.
not gonna throw that one in on another record or any other recording anytime soon. We actually thought about playing it around the holidays though,
Yeah, yeah,
because it is
yeah,
a fun one.
yeah. They can do another version of it because
Sure.
they got they got a better musicians now. I think they got
At
more
least ones that are
experience.
more in tune with the drummer and what he's doing.
So what's coming up next after the release of the album? Some overall.
I think as far as recording go, well, we're gonna be touring on that for a good while,
Okay.
and continuing to promote it well into next year. But in the meantime,
Hmm.
um, we're gonna focus more on singles,
Okay.
because we wanted to do the album just because none of us have ever had a full length album to our names before. So that okay, mission accomplished. We got that. So
Right.
now I think we're going to focus back to singles because
Okay.
unfortunately that's just the way that things are in music. Is people don't want to hear all the deep cuts all the time. They want to hear
Right.
the singles, the hits, the ones that slap.
Yeah. Right.
And so we're going to be doing that a little bit and trying to get on bigger tours. So sometime in this past summer, we signed on with a company called Distilled Entertainment.
All right.
And so what they are is a booking and management company. And so they'll get offers from well-known national acts,
Hmm.
that are looking for tour support. And so sometimes there's a buy on, sometimes it's this or that is whatever information comes to him, emails
Right.
to us,
That's cool.
and we tell him whether or not we want to be submitted for it for consideration.
Hmm.
So right now, I guess the running offer that we've had most recently is a upcoming tour with Amity Affliction.
Okay.
Um,
I heard of that band before.
yeah, they are from back in the early aughts,
Yeah.
and early 20 teens and
Hmm.
very big in their time, still very big. And
Hmm.
we've had another offer in the past from Cold,
Hmm.
stuff like that. But the downside is we're not the only ones getting the offer.
Of
There's a
course.
whole bunch of other bands in
Right.
even outside of Distilled that are getting those offers. So it's putting our name in the hat
Right.
for consideration. And fingers crossed that it
I hope
happens,
so. Yeah.
but it doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah. Gotta keep fighting. Uh, I don't remember how the first time I saw you guys. I don't know if it was on Instagram or YouTube. I have no. I always, instead of writing it, I forget, because a lot of times they ask me, where was the first time? When did you see us? I'm like, I never. Could
Well,
be
we're on all the
anywhere.
things.
Either
We're
they're,
on
I don't know
everywhere.
where
So
I don't know where I found them. I found them somewhere. I have no idea. But I know if you
right.
go in their Instagram, I mean Instagram, I think it might be where I saw it. I have no idea.
Oh,
But
maybe.
what's the best way for to get in touch with you guys and see what's going on with the band?
Um, Definitely the main social medias being Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Um, or you can find us at our band email, apexfallen2020 at gmail.com.
Right.
Um, and so anybody that's wanting a promoter looking for support, or
Right.
anybody that's trying to set something up, that's probably the best way. But if you just want to get in contact us in general, I mean, yeah, any of the social medias, we'll see it, and
Hmm.
we're pretty active on all the stuff there. I think the only thing that we don't have currently is a Twitter,
Twitter account.
um,
I don't have one either.
X, whatever it's called.
Yeah, I don't have one
It's
either.
yeah.
I don't
I
plan of
had one
having.
a long I
I'm
had
not
one a long
planning of
time
having
ago.
one either for now. I don't know.
That's fine. I had one a long time ago, and I
Me too.
barely use it. I don't even know how to get into it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. They probably block me if I go back. I
Right?
don't. I have no
Um,
idea.
but Facebook, Instagram, and the email.
Yeah,
That's
and also
those.
go to YouTube and you can see their latest videos, Hollow and some of it all and all that.
Yes.
And they look like a cool looking band, you know.
Oh, thank you very
They
much.
got a lot of energy. What else? They got so much going on for them. I'm just trying to I try to, get in touch with them before they say no, because maybe later on they will say, "Who the fuck is this guy trying to talk to us? Who the hell is he?" So let me do it now before it's too late.
Right.
So
Right. When the rest of the world is looking at us like, who the hell are these guys?
yeah. No, I really enjoy the band, guys. I enjoy all kinds of music, everything I like. 99% of music I really enjoy. The other 1% is really garbage, but that's my taste.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
an
I have
old,
a
you know.
no, it's fine. I have a very eclectic taste too. You'd be
Yeah.
surprised at what's in my
And
downloaded on my phone and my playlists.
yeah, who
It's
knows?
not all metal that
A
sounds
lot
like
of
your face is
pop,
gonna melt.
a lot of Charlie XCX and stuff. I think he has.
You'd
Maybe.
be surprised.
Yeah, right? Why not?
Exactly.
Why
Because
not?
sometimes Dave Matthews Band is the right
Oh,
answer for
he's
that
they're
day, you
good,
know?
good players. They're very nice
Yeah,
technique they got. You know,
absolutely.
I could listen to Apex Falling at not at any time. If I'm in a relaxed mood, I'm not gonna listen to Apex Falling. Let me tell you. But when I'm, maybe I have to cut the grass, lawn the grass. Maybe
Hmm.
it's a good time to listen to Apex Falling. I will cut the grass in 15 seconds instead of that I listen to them. My energy will be
Oh
high
yeah,
octane.
there you go.
So why not? So it's a good time to listen to this band.
And
So
if you're a metalhead, then actually it's a little bit of the opposite. A real metalhead actually relaxes with
of course,
heavy music because
yeah.
everything's already crazy in your head. So if you hear something that's even more crazy, it helps you calm down.
I know. I agree with that. Just my wife doesn't. When I try to put some death metal in my car, it's like, what the hell is this? Okay, go back to the other shit then. So I mean, it's I really enjoyed Apex Fallen. So I was, you guys go check them out. Go in their Instagram, Facebook page, find out what's going on with them and when they're going to be playing next. And if they ever show up in Jersey, uh, you guys let me know. I'll go and
We
watch it.
definitely we
If you ever
we
make it
definitely
up
have
here,
plans.
yeah,
We definitely have plans to hit the Northeast at some point in time. So for sure. And I will message you personally.
yeah. People
It'll
up
it'll
north they love metal also. No,
oh yeah.
I know there are bands from from Texas, but up in Jersey, Connecticut, yeah, there's good music everywhere. But
We've played with several bands from the Northeast that have come down to Houston, and
right,
so we've met some good ones like Disaster Piece,
hmm,
great band.
hmm,
Um, had a mix of some Deftones sounding stuff, but also trap metal, which is implementing the rap
right,
essence of it and everything.
hmm,
So it's a really interesting sound, and those guys are nice as can be.
yeah,
And so no, we definitely want to go up there and get our feet planted in those with those audiences and in that market for sure. But
yeah.
yeah, we're on all the things: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, of course, and Spotify. We've been paying a lot of attention to our Spotify,
Right.
definitely.
That's what I've been listening on Spotify.
Yep,
Spotify,
and
listen to their songs, the EPs, everything is there. So
yep, and if you
easy.
have an iPhone, we're on Apple Music just the same.
Apple Music, that's right. So yeah. Now it's easy, you don't have to go to Houston and find out who they are. You can be in
Mhm.
Alaska, you can be in Madagascar. It doesn't matter.
Well, worldwide.
Yeah. Now it's easier for that. There are things that were not that good because of, internet and stuff, but other things, yeah, it works out.
No, it's actually helped us
Works out.
reach out to
Yeah.
people that
How would
we
I get
never
in
would have
touch with
imagined.
Apex Falling myself? How would I get in touch with them if there was no electronic email or whatever you want, an email or something? I will have to send a letter to
Ooh,
some address. That will be makes no sense. I will probably wait like a couple months by the time they get the letter. It's like, what the fuck is this? It doesn't make sense.
I mean, you could try, but we really don't try to put our addresses out there.
Right. So that's past and gone and gone. No
Right.
postcards.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So I just want to thank you,
And
Erik, for everything.
oh,
Um,
no problem. Thank you. And anybody listening, also don't forget to visit apexfallen.com. We've
oh, that's
got
right.
merch.
I
Yeah, we
forgot
have our
about
own
that.
website.
You got t-shirts now that I remember.
We have some
You
t-shirts.
see, man, he forgets about a lot of shit.
We have some t-shirts available. Our we have a full-on website, apexfallen.com, has our
Hmm.
contact info on there. If you want more of our updates on what's going on with big things, tour announcements and stuff like that, join our
Hmm.
mailing list. And which I'm typically the one writing those. So if you get an email from Apex Fallen, it's
Oh,
from me.
okay. All right.
Uh, so apexfallen.com, check out our stuff. And we should be having some new merch coming in October.
Hmm. So you go and
So
if you go and see them, they probably have a merch table, merchandise stuff for you
yep,
to buy.
yes,
Right? Nice
we have
t-shirts.
merch at our shows, and we have some stuff you can't find at our shows on the website.
Oh, all right. And he's gonna raffle one of his spaces also. I don't think that.
Maybe
Not
we'll
yet.
see.
Not yet.
I'll
He's
raffle a shirt. That
a
we'll start
shirt,
there.
a short, a used one. Shouldn't.
Oh yeah, I mean that makes it more special, right?
Of course. But that's not the t-shirt you're wearing is not something that you have on your merchant
No,
store.
no,
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 no.
no. That's something different.
No, this is just something fun. I don't know if you can
I'm
tell what
trying
it
to
is.
figure out what it is, the lotion, but I don't know I don't know what that is all about. But.
Put the lotion in the basket. It's from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, you see,
Put the lotion in the
I
basket.
missed it. I missed it.
Precious. Buffalo
I,
Bill.
I missed it. I missed it. Mhm.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yep.
All right. So thank you very much. If no, hopefully I can talk to them again in the near future. Uh,
Absolutely.
and hopefully maybe other members because this guy, I don't know, Erik is okay, but. I could talk to Reese or I could talk to Jeremy. Nah, nah, nah. I'll talk to
Um,
him again. What the hell? He's a nice guy. What am I saying? What am I saying? The other
I'm
guys,
too, but
I don't really need to talk to them. He can tell me everything about the band. I don't need anybody else. He's the good guy. I don't know about the
so
rest.
vanilla.
Yeah, he's a sweet guy. We need him. We need this guy to talk again with him. Okay. So
Thank you very much.
yeah. Thanks everybody. Don't forget, their album is called Some of It All. October 15th, if I'm correct, if I remember. It's coming
Yes.
out, it's published, so go everywhere. You can download it. You have one of those social streaming media for you that you are a member or whatever. I don't know, Tidal. I don't know what the hell. Spotify. You can download it if you're one of those guys. Uh, and listen to it. And then if you see if they show up around your area, go and see them and talk to them. They're nice guys. You can talk to them before and after. During the show, I don't think you can do that. But after, and after you buy some merch, they will even talk more to you after that.
Oh yeah.
So they're nice guys. I send them an email and they answer, which is surprising when they see my face. But thanks.
We're just happy for the attention.
Yeah. So go ahead, listen to Apex Fallen. You're not gonna be disappointed, my friends. What? So and that's it. See you next. I don't know if I'll be around next week. Something is happening that I cannot talk in this interview, but I'm gonna tell him. He'll know what's going on. See you next week.
See ya.